first of all, thanks for coming. I think it's a bit cooler in here.
Yeah.
I understand that all of you have active lifestyles already, but we just thought we'd give you a little bit of a break from customer service to talk a little bit more about you. And I follow the guidelines when it comes to lifting that you've got on your manual handling tips there that says, whenever possible, avoid lifting. So I'm an endurance athlete, whereas Faye is a powerlifter. So when you might look at Faye and you think, there's a woman in her early 30s, she's a mum with 3 kids, she's been a personal trainer for 15 years, she's been competing or taking an active part in powerlifting for 4 years. She's just competed this weekend representing Great Britain in the European Championships and achieved 2 personal bests and a bronze medal for Great Britain in that. In addition, Faye is Northamptonshire's most inspirational woman for 19, as me showing my age, for 2015, and she's a person that's probably inspired me more than anyone else in the fitness industry since I've known Faye for probably 10 or 12 years now. So I'll pass you over to Faye's expertise and hope you enjoy what we can present for you.
Hi guys, so yeah, hello, sorry. I've been doing powerlifting now for about 4 years, but I've always trained with weights. When I was younger, I used to play a lot of rugby and things like that in my teens, and so the strength training aspect of that was always important for sort of speed and power and that kind of thing. So I've always been into it. Do you remember those gold dumbbells that they used to sell, I hate to say it, but in Argos or wherever they sold them, they might have sold them at John Lewis too, but I remember having a pair of those in my bedroom when I was 8 years old. I used to follow the little sheet that said you've got to do these exercises, yeah. So I've been literally lifting weights since I knew what a weight was, but actually only powerlifting for 4 years after sort of having my children and giving up rugby and things like that. And the reason I wanted to speak to you guys today, it's what I think lifting has really helped me to do is to get lifting as something that is natural. So even when I pick my kids up at home, I was saying to the guys earlier, I've got a 10-year-old who weighs about 38 kilos, an 8-year-old who weighs about 34 kilos, and ran up to me the other day, "Mummy, cuddle!" Picked them both up like this, like that, one in each arm. And like, "We're getting too big for this, Mum." I'm like, "Yeah, you are a little bit, but maybe I'll just have to get stronger." But to be able to do that, to be able to pick up 2 of my children and the technique of lifting it up, then together they weigh more than I do. But the technique of lifting it up is second nature because I do it in the gym all the time, because I train it all the time. So I go to lift. But I'm not going to do it, but if I was to have to try and lift up one of those carpets or something like that, they're a bit heavy. But the natural technique to do it is just, it's so ingrained that you're going to do it right. And that's why I think that lifting and training your body to do that, training your central nervous system to do that, is something that can be beneficial for anyone who's got a manual job, and sort of anyone that does have to do lifting, whether it be at home with children, at work. And it's always the little things, the silly things. People always say, "I picked up a waste paper basket and did my back in," or something like that. It's always the silly things when you're not concentrating. Yeah, at work you've got your manual handling sort of guidelines, but when you do something silly is when you're going to hurt yourself, unless it's so ingrained in there and so ingrained in your muscular system and your central nervous system that you just don't do it wrong. If I pick up a pen off the floor, I do this, because that's just natural to me to do a squat. Why would I bend over? That seems really awkward. I just wouldn't do it. And that's because the amount of repetitions I do in the gym, the amount of years, for the 4 years that I've spent doing specific powerlifting training. And I think for me it's helped with, at work, I'm a personal trainer, I spend all day lifting weights onto barbells. And that it's exhausting sometimes because all you're doing, pick up a weight, put it on a barbell, take it off, put it down, pick up another one, put it, and that's what you do all day. When you change these weights here onto the bar, you'll see us change it properly in a minute. But if I was to put that on the end of here, you have to pick your head up and slide it on. And put it down again. If you do that like this, you're going to end up really sore by the end of it. Okay? So to get them off, you bend your legs to do it. That makes sense. Yeah, so you're not rounding your back, you're picking things up sensibly. And it means I can do a 10-hour shift in the gym picking up weights all day. You know, I know you guys do sort of 8 to 10-hour shifts and that as well, with the driving and unloading and things like that too. You want to be on it for those amount of hours. You want to be strong. You don't want to be thinking, just forgetting one moment. You don't have to think about it. It's ingrained in your body. So I'm going to show you a little bit of deadlifting and go through. First I'm going to show you how it's done badly. And like Peter said, I've been working in gyms for about 15 years, and the amount of times that I see people lifting badly in gyms. I know some of you might train in gyms and you might have seen this. So I'm going to turn sideways actually, so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so here. This is not how you deadlift. I'm not going to get any of you to do this today. If I hurt myself, I have the British Championships on Saturday, so I don't want to hurt myself, but I'm going to do it badly. So what people do is go and pick something up. I think, yeah, you know, big heavy weight, let's pick it up, and they go like this. Yeah? That was awful, didn't it? Yeah? Back's all rounded, you come down like this, your back's rounded, you pull like that, and it's all on your spine, like that. Yeah? Luckily that's not too heavy that it's going to hurt me. But if you look at the difference between that, and as I say, you've seen guys lifting like that in gyms, yeah? They do it for repetition after repetition. You think, please don't. You know, you're doing yourself no good. And then you go to work, and what's ingrained in your head? To do this. So you pick something like that up at work, and then suddenly you're off work sick because you've hurt your back. You know, it's just something that I think if your people get it right in the gym, and they get it right when they're training, you're training your mind, you're training your body as well at the same time. So to do a proper deadlift, you want to be nice and close to the bar. So when you're manual handling things, keep the weight close to you. Yeah, always keep the weight close to you. You want the bar to move in the most smooth line as possible. So from here, where it's going to end up here at the top, that's a straight line at the moment. So from here to where the bar is, that's a straight line. So I want to keep it in that straight line. If I do this and bring my knees forwards, I've got to bring it out around my knees and then back in again. That's going to put a lot of strain on my back. Yeah? So touch my legs there. If I push my bum back, so my shins are staying up right here, and then grab hold of the bar. Pull my chest through, so my back's nice and flat, and then from there, shins are still nice and up right here. If you lift your chest, push your feet down, hips through, and you end up at the top. The bar's gone in pretty much a straight line, and then squeeze it down again, push back. So there, up. Nice straight line. When you're doing that, the difference between that and the first one I showed you, at the bottom here, is all here in your hamstrings. It's all here in your bum muscles. As you lift it up, your back stays flat and tight, and then your hips do the movement. So it's all about this through your hips, rather than your back rounding, and you're not using your bum muscles, you're not using your leg muscles, you're just using your back and supporting the weight on your skeleton, rather than using the muscles to do it. And so, I catch my breath after that. I'm a powerlifter, we only do one rep at a time.